Alright, guys, we're back for round 8's review for Supercoach 2023. Just off the bat, apologies for this being late. If you can't hear it, my voice is kind of just destroyed. Monday wasn't up to it, feeling crook. Tuesday was too busy, so we're getting a special Wednesday one. 2,400 the score. Not a bad score by any means, but if I just made a couple of simple changes to the team, I think could have been looking at another top 1% score, which would have been really good in rank this week. Still went up, which is, it's better than going down. 2,300, that's cool by me. If I can stay around here till the buys, I think I'll be able to trade in a good way. That should help me throughout the buys. I'm not too fussed with that, to be honest. Considering I thought rank was dead at like round 2, I think there's a screen here. No season rank. Round 3, we were 40 in the 43,000s. Like that's started in the 20s, dropped to the 40s, did 2 weeks in the 40s. Like that's a huge jump. Looking at that, so no matter what happens, I think this is a positive season. But we'll get into it. So Dawson was really good. Didn't catch like all of the Adelaide game, but let me just bring up the scores here. So didn't catch all of this one, only caught bits and pieces while I was at work. But Adelaide looked like they put up a bit of a fight. I thought Adelaide were a possible chance to win this actually, but just because they're going on good form, But Geelong at GMHBA are, to say the least, a pretty good team. So did expect them to win, but Dawson did put up a good score. So did Laird. Like Laird got a bit of work put into him. So to come out with a ton was pretty good. I feel like he was tracking a bit higher at like halftime. I don't know if that's me remembering falsely, but it looked like he was looking to go a bit higher at halftime. Dacos, a down game, but Sydney were putting heaps of work into him. There's the whole buddy thing and like the booing. I think that's just part of the game. Unless they can prove that the booing was intended to be some derogatory, racist type of thing, then otherwise that's just part of the game. It's called home field advantage for a reason. And I'm saying that as someone that's not a fan of either team. I really don't like Hollywood. But, Dacos got work put into him. They started, little niggle fights and stuff like that. It kind of took him off his game, which again I think is all fair play. I think it was Nathan Buckley who was talking about it. It's like as long as it's all above the board, no jumper punches and being offensive to the player, right? As long as you don't actually do something like that, then you're fine. If you do it properly, it's all part of the game. You see it in every single sport. Tom Stewart, good game from him. Expected a bit more, but, considering some defenders this week, like a lot of people brought in Sicily. Didn't Sicily do terrible? I think he did. I'm going to bring him up. Yeah, 63, that's bad. Even at the discount. 113 break even against Melbourne. He should hit that. Melbourne should pretty easily smash Hawthorn. Probably about another 100-point win for Melbourne. Depending on Sicily's kickouts and everything, it could be good for him. Otherwise, their pick's looking a bit rough. Probably Sinclair was the pick there. Siebel 179. This guy is insane. This was the most boring game I've ever seen. I got a Sunday night off, so I'm like, all right, I'll turn on the footy. Collingwood Sydney's a good game. All right, let me catch a bit of this one. No, I turn on FIFA instead. Like that was terrible to watch. And, the scoreline says 30 points, but it was, man, I feel like I lost having to watch the game. But Zeeble put up a good score, so that's really about all you can ask for. Chase Jones, GMHBA is kind of a field that does help wingers a fair bit. Geelong have had high scoring wingers, so and Adelaide like to play to to their wings to get it forward. They kind of use up their whole midfield. I think this week he's back at Adelaide. They are, right? Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure they are. But yeah, back at Adelaide. Saints are a good matchup for him, actually. That's going to be a good game to watch. But yeah, Chase Jones has been fine. Keeps a rookie off the field, which, it's better than having to field Seamus Mitchell or something like that. And then got Jincotta as the number 6. So, yeah, best score of the bench. And that's Constable showing like the value even if he doesn't play. So the trade, we'll talk about Bond, but the trade in this week was Oliver. So I went against the Steele pick. Can I actually bring that up? So trade history. Did end up going Setterfield out, Stocker out, and Fergus Green out, which I think all these were positive. I think I could have done better than Oliver. So I was looking at the Gold Coast mids. I was leaning a bit more towards Rao, just because I like the player, but I was looking at Noah Anderson. And I was like, you know what? That might be a pick. But then I remember what I said. I was like, well, how much money is he going to make in the meantime? Even if he, just in case he's not a keeper, planning for the worst case scenario. It's like, well, if he falls off a little bit, Toot comes back a bit early, might not be the best. Turns out that was the right pick. Definitely should have went Anderson. These two were positive. Angwin is injured. I'm never ever touching GWS rookie again. This hasn't worked. You're a loop. Toby Green. Tom Green has had problems. Canelio's had problems. You can't win GWS players. But yeah, Oliver was alright. It's just because I traded him in, I felt like I had to captain him to kind of show that it was a good trade in. Ego thing. But yeah, I did have Bond captain for a while. I just took it off him. Bond was crazy good. I think 164 was actually underscored. So I think he had his career high in clearances and contested possessions. So honestly, I'm surprised this wasn't closer to 200. It did look like a 200 style game. I think it was just scaling of points and allocation of them and everything. Oliver was good. Laird, spoke about him a little bit before. Tom Green was a bit better than I thought he'd be. So there's been, at the start of the year, there was a whole thing about, his points are dropping off. He's not going to be able to sustain it like last year. I think he's proven all that false. So given the suspension, I guess the suspension was 2 weeks off, huh? Maybe he needs that 2 weeks off. But, 2 good scores back to back. Collywood isn't an amazing matchup, just, going off stats. 4th hardest to score against. But I guess the schedule is getting a bit harder. We'll see how he goes. Worst case scenario, who maybe makes it up to 600k. Wait. Oh, alright, doesn't work. This website never works this year. I feel like it's worse than years past. 64, it could beat that by a fair bit. Either way, I think it's a good starting pick. He's done better than, say, an LDU or something like that. Rosie, I feel like I keep saying this. Good game, could have been higher. So many simple mistakes. Couple of shots that just didn't help Port, but that was the whole team. If he kind of just played better, I feel like that's the easy way to call it. But be a bit smarter with the ball, use it a bit better. Could have got a lot higher score, probably in the 130s, I reckon. Will Day, lower game for him considering last week, and I thought this was going to be a good one for him. So defenders and stuff have scored good against Freo, but we had Sicily score terribly. Will Day, not good. And the Hawks got smashed by large bit. What's that? 70 points. I don't know here. I think he'll still be fine. But this probably does show that he is someone you want to trade on later in the year, probably around the buys. I don't think he ever really was a keeper, though. Maybe that's just hindsight thinking. Hopper, it was amazing. I mean, yeah, it was against West Coast. I expected a big score from him and Taranto. Taranto was a bit like under, but yeah, Hopper was good. Ashcroft, the one rookie I didn't set up to loop was Ashcroft because I was like, oh well, I like his chances of scoring at least around a 60 or something like that. This was lower than this before, like the end of the game, so it was like 22 or something like that. And I was like, oh boy, we're going down in rank. But then, yeah, everyone has him on field, so could have looped this an extra 30 points there. Would have helped, especially seeing that the rank is so close. Like from number 2, because number 1 has like a 150 point lead, 2 to like 2,000 is so close. So, yeah, that it would have helped an extra 30 points, especially if I had brought in Noah Anderson. The rest of the bench didn't play. The rucks were, disappointing. Thought Marshall would do a bit better, but 107, I guess you can't complain. It is still a ton. And then Darcy was really bad. Considering that Hawks don't have like a great ruckman or anything like that, a bit disappointed to see him miss, like not even get close to the time. Still in the 70s. I could make a move for English this week. It would be the final boost. That's why it was active, because I was just looking if I could do it. I'm thinking it's probably worth it, to be honest. Like, it is a boost. It is the last boost I have. But, I haven't copped too many injuries this year. And in saying that, I probably should have more boosts because I haven't copped so many injuries. It means I've been using them a bit too loosely. But, I was at 40k, as we talked about before, so looking at English's schedule, I guess I can just go to Bont and have a look. Carlton's a good matchup for Ruckman. Adelaide, I guess O'Brien has been up and down this year. What the hell? 750k is going to hit. Because he can definitely hit 120 or 130 against Carlton. They haven't projected 150. Okay, that's a bit high. But, imagine he hit 750k. Would that be the highest of all time? That's actually a genuine question to anyone out there that would know. Is 750k the highest of all time? If he hits it. I hadn't even noticed. It's 725k. But yeah, back on that. Maybe I'll do it. It's probably going to be a game time decision. Taranto, as I said, a bit disappointing just because it was West Coast, but still a good game. Dunkley with his first huge score of the year. So the 130 was good. Again, another, just breaking the hundreds type of game. And then a huge one, basically a 150. So, the lineup for them is really pretty good. Like, Essendon's a good game. The Q Clash. Adelaide, maybe not the best, but that's the type of game Brisbane need to be showing up for if they want to be seen as contenders. Hawks at the G, good for everyone except Brisbane, who struggle at the G. Sydney at home, that's not a terrible schedule for them. Cogs down week. Didn't really see anything that looked terrible from him. I think it was just an unlucky game. How many touches do you have? 26? Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe just efficiency wasn't there. I haven't really checked the stats for the GWS game. I just saw the Bont stuff. Yeah, so, I don't know. Should pick up next week if his efficiency picks up. Sheasel continues to be the best rookie of this year and probably of the last couple of years, just because he's playing half back and he gets the cheapies. Samson Ryan, I think he was the sole ruck this week. Like, the pinch hitter in the ruck wasn't Ben Miller. I'm not too sure on that, but I think that's what it was. 31 hit. That's hit outs, yeah? I don't know why it wouldn't be. So they do this. HI on here, HO on the app. Other websites use HI, just pick one of them. I think HO is the best one, but whatever. Hit outs 31. That's pretty good. Again, West Coast, not the best team to do it against, but Geelong don't really have a ruckman either. I mean, they play with a couple of guys in there. Essendon, Draper will probably smash him, to be honest. Port, no real ruckman. GWS, I mean, they've got like 3 ruckmen. They rotate, and then probably by 13, you want him gone. I don't see why you'd hold him that long. Maybe you hold him to his bye, which is 15, but I don't know. And then Angwin, like I said, got injured. He's questionable for this week, but it shouldn't matter because I think I'll have someone coming in that can play that spot. So, for trades, we're looking at Ashcroft out because his break-even is destroyed. 71's not destroyed, but especially at the Gabba. What's he averaging? I saw something today. He was averaging 90 or something at the Gabba. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's not a must trade, but he gets me in players I want to get in. So it's just about finalizing the team. So him out, and then Combin out, which I could probably go Davey instead. For the same thing, Combin can't lose money. Davey can lose money. So just for whatever sake, go Davey. Then move Seamus into the forward line, Day into the D line, and then it gives me who's the rookie I wanted? Atkins. The Rory Atkins leaves me 655, which is basically pick whoever you want type of money. Players I can afford. Yeah, it's only Bont I can't afford. So go by average. 3-round average I think is a better one. We have got Anderson there. I think Chera's a bit I don't know. I don't buy into this. Petrarca is one I've been looking at. I had a look at him instead of Oliver. I just think Oliver's got a higher ceiling to him. Cripps, not really into it. Kelly already got enough GWS players. Walsh, after his bye, perhaps. Sarong. If Brayshaw really has found his form back, then Sarong's probably going to drop off a bit. In saying that, Brayshaw, probably want one more game to see. I think he's had 2 good games. I don't think he looked bad in this one. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, he didn't look bad against Brisbane. Bad score, but didn't look terrible. Still 30 touches or whatever. Just because it was against the Hawks, I want to see one more. And then I'll be Brayshaw's a good bargain guy. Darcy Parish, not really into. Side bottom, no. Merritt I don't mind. He's a bit cheaper, under 600. Could be a good one to bring in if you're struggling for cash. Shea Bolton, no. Dangerfield, no. Dangerfield's injured. Akers, no. Parker, as a forward, I would, but not as a midfielder. Goulden's a very good one. The original trade plan I had was Steele and Goulden in. If I'd gone with that, I would have went up huge in rank. There would have been so many extra points. So that sucked, but you live and learn. I think I'll get Goulden next week. Having a look at trades and stuff, I think it'll probably be Edwards out next week. Just planning in my head. Edwards and Combin out to Drury and a rookie. There should be a mid-rookie available. And then that should give me enough money for Goulden, and it should work. McRae, I feel like this year you just can't pick him, which is a shame because he's been so good for so long. Trelaw's injured again, I guess, so maybe that helps McRae, but I wouldn't hop on this. Wouldn't hop on it. Butters has been alright. If you have him as a forward, I don't mind it, but I'm not a fan as a mid. Anyone else here with talking about Tom Mitchell? You probably traded him out by now. Dom Sheed, don't do it. He's going to get injured again. Bailey Smith, yeah, that's cheap, Bailey Smith, but again, I can't really recommend Dogs players at the moment just because of where they're playing. Mills is going to be very interesting. If he drops again, 116. If he misses that, like say he scores 100, what is he projected for? Projected for 91. That would see him drop to 504. That would be huge. Actually, no. What is it? It's 91 drops to 511. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, that would be good to see. Maybe I'll go Mills in next week. I don't know, because I think Mills is starting to get his role back now that everyone's coming back for Sydney. I think he's going to start get that midfield role back. Remember, he was a top like 5 player last year, so getting him at a super discount. Steal as well. Probably just want to see more of him. I don't think he's built the consistency yet after the injury. Neil has dropped heaps. He's going to keep dropping. I don't think there's any urgency on bringing him in. Fiorini, for the people that took a shot on him, I guess 81. You're fine with. Probably got a rookie off the field for you, so not the worst trade ever. We'll just see how it keeps going. Just because he's not like your prototypical mid, so we'll see how he's scoring. Keeps up. Horn Francis not touching him for another couple of years. Yeah, that's about it. Sam Simpson was the rookie trade this week over Angwin, but did kind of want the extra cash in the bank, so that sucks. For now, I'll just go with Anderson. Alright, just chuck that through. Leaves 50k in the bank. Like I said, if I wanted to, it would be the last boost I have, which not too fussed about it being the last boost, but I could get Tim English. So that would mean I have one more mid to trade in. I don't really have to touch the defense until the buy round when I start moving players out. And then I have 2 forwards to trade in. That's not terrible. 15 trades. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I do have to keep Day. Maybe Day's going to be like a budget guy. I have to keep at D6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 15 trades. That's definitely doable, especially with guys like Chincotta and Jury. So we'll just have a look at some of the guys that you can target for next week. Less than 3 played. And let's just drop it to about like 190. So we have guys that played. Tom Berry, still got a couple of weeks, don't have to jump on him. Weddle's a this week guy, or Weedle, I'm not too sure. Not a huge fan of his role. I think if you want someone and you need a defender, go for him. But if you don't need someone, I wouldn't really go after it this week. Jury will come in next week, just because Basement Bryce should continue to get games. Daniel Turner, didn't see enough to say he's going to keep his spot. Harry Sharp, didn't even see him on the field. Francis Evans, no. Saying True, no. Yeah, I don't know, maybe not too much. But if I can go Drury and Goulden next week, that will be great. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Vice captain and captain, we'll go with... Yeah, you know what? If I'm bringing in Anderson, I hope he gives me a score against West Coast and Clayton against the Hawks. Go with that. Let me know how you guys went this week. A bit later in the week, so people have already probably made trades. Yeah, I'll see you all next time. Tasty out.